Well, closing arguments were delivered this morning in the rape trial of former police officer Paul John Santos. PNC's Donna De Jesus has more details on this story.
In the rape trial of former cop Paul John Santos, both sides have rested their cases in chief, and the evidentiary portion of the trial is closed. For the prosecution, Assistant Attorney General Matt Hybel presented to the jury a summary of what took place on September 1st, 2014, highlighting 4 major points of that night.
If you remember nothing else, remember this sort of progression. The evidence has shown a couple things. One, the only reason that Officer Santos came there that night was for sex. That's the reason. It wasn't a police operation, it wasn't a tip, it wasn't a sting. He came there for sex. Following that, he wasn't paying the victim. So if he's there for sex, he didn't pay her a dime. Number 3, he showed up in full uniform. And number 4, he got sex.
Hybel also brought the jury's attention to the call logs at the Dedito precinct from that night. During a witness testimony, GPD Officer Doug Yee said that even if there's no activity, it is also called in and logged. The logs for that night showed a time window of over 2.5 hours that Santos did not call in to the desk watch officer, the time frame when he was seen at the Hotel Ipao by staff and surveillance cameras, which invalidates Santos's claim of performing a sting operation.
The last call he makes in from the radio log is roughly at 12:59 a.m. He doesn't make another call in to the radio log, and this is from Officer Yee, the radio dispatch officer, until 3:48 a.m.
The defense took a different approach. Attorney Randy Cunliffe wanted the jury to focus on the victim's credibility and the technicalities of the indictment. Cunliffe began by bringing up her past as an adult film star, stripper, and prostitute, and added that her testimony was not solid.
She also said a couple other things about her testimony. I'm telling you what I believe to be the truth, not what is the truth. I'm not really clear about everything that happened. This boils down to the credibility of witnesses.
Cunliffe picked apart the victim's testimony when she claimed she suffered injuries from a violent sex act, saying there was no evidence of those injuries from the nurses who examined her. Cunliffe also brought the jury's attention to the false documents the victim sent to the FBI regarding her pregnancy.
She has no compunction about lying.
Cunliffe pointed out that the language of the statutes is important for the jury to consider when making their judgments. The jury is now ready to begin deliberations. Reporting for PNC, I'm Donna De Jesus.